Namaskar traders, good evening. 10th of Jan, Tuesday evening, just a minute past 9 p.m. And this is one of those days which gives me that opportunity to say that, see, I had told you, मैंने बताया था. So I'm not bragging, I'm just saying that, well, it played to the script that we laid down yesterday. What we were talking about after yesterday's close was it was a good bounce back and it should not give back the low. That's the essence, that was the theme of the discussion last evening. And what we have today is a sell-off, and the Nifty index has closed distinctly below yesterday's low. It slipped quite a bit, managed a very smallish, shallowish bounce back towards the end, but yesterday's low has been compromised. Not good news. This is definitely not good news, and the way it fell and the way it has closed, the possibility of further slipping towards its previous swing lows is extremely high, which means that the weekly chart is going to come down somewhere here. And yes, there is a chance of a further break of these levels. Now, if these levels on the weekly charts are compromised, then you can expect this kind of a move which might find the index back to 17,500. Now, I do not want to sound too bearish, neither do I want to scare that the markets will easily crash another 500 points from here. So I'm not trying to predict this, but looking at the price behavior, and it's extremely early days to call because it's just one day of fall, but there is a possibility. In other words, if in the next, let's say 1, 2 or 3 weeks, let's say if we find this level, don't be surprised is what I mean. So you should play it a little safe, especially if you're predominantly a long bias trader or investor. Long-term investors should definitely get some good opportunity. We'll see how prices play out. For all you know, we can get a very good bounce back and all this probabilistic negativity can completely go away outside the window soon. So prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. All right. So level-wise, Nifty, as I said, 7,900, 7,800 levels, not a big deal. And on the upside, our key red line, you remember this, right? It holds. This is very close to that 18,200 mark. We have a move which was more like a trap. This move was just to liquidate the long positions, get the traders, short-term traders getting trapped here, just to reverse on the very next day. So 18,200, close to that 18,200 is the obvious resistance for the Nifty. Now, if we take a look at the main indices, then we can clearly see that the Bank Nifty was the major contributor in today's fall. Now, we did discuss this yesterday in quite a bit of a length, saying that finance, private sector, public sector banks, keep an eye on the HDFC Twins and SBI and all those stuff. We discussed last evening. If the index comes down, it will be primarily because of the Bank Nifty and the banking finance names. And yes, it played to the script beautifully in today's trade as well. Bank Nifty too managed a little bit of a bounce towards the afternoon. Bank Nifty is bouncing back, or today's intraday bounce back that we experienced in the afternoon comes from a pretty good Fibonacci confluence of projections as well as retracements. When we get Fibonacci levels close to a certain zone, these are called confluences, and they tend to have some strength in them. This is not a bad short-term level for the Bank Nifty. We might get a positive open tomorrow. We'll take a look at the global markets a little later, but for a day or two, this has the this has the characteristics in itself to cause a short-term pause in this selling. But the overall picture is not that great. It has slipped below yesterday's low. It has closed below yesterday's low. Weekly charts are en route, it seems, for a retest of little above that 41,600, 41,700 mark. So let's see how it plays out. But over here also it's fairly bearish. The same story as the Nifty. If I sort the sectoral indices apart from the CNX Auto, wherein it was completely one stock, Tata Motors, the rest of all the sectors closed negative. PSU Bank, Finance, Private Bank, Media, all of them were distinctly on the downside. Now, one sector and few stocks that I would like to discuss in today's analysis. Before that, I will quickly take a look at the FI numbers, and it's been red throughout, and today also the cash market provisional numbers are a little above that, 2,100 crores, 2,900 few days back, 2,600 few days back. So we know, we've been looking at it and they've been selling throughout, and that selling continues. Pharma healthcare is something that I would like to discuss today evening with you. If I take a look at the CNX Pharma Index, what I see is an attempt for a trend reversal. I have a short-term trend reversal on my charts based on the indicators and the values that I use. It tells me that the short-term trend has reversed on the upside. Today, the sector was marginally negative. Now, minus 0.03% is a flat close, which I think is not bad considering the Nifty was down 1%. So it did manage to show us some bit of relative strength. Now, pharma is in a short-term uptrend. Momentum is slow and steady improving. Not a very good weekly charts, but it gives me the sense that it's trying to reverse the trend and probably give us a retest of these kind of highs. It's attempting. We will see whether it manages to do that or not. Now, consumption theme, pharmaceuticals are typical pockets where the market loves to hide when there is some bit of a uncertainty, fear, downtrend in the market. It tends to hide behind these kind of names. So we might get some movement from the pharma stocks. If you take a look at the CNX Pharma 75-minute time frame, you'll find this symmetrical triangular behavior. You can call it a pennant also. So some kind of an upside breakout may be possible. So CNX Pharma, if you take a look at today's price behavior, has caused what we call as an inside bar after a short-term bounce back. So I feel that from here on, it has the potential for an upside breakout. And if it slips below today's low, especially yesterday's low, then this possibility that the index has done well to move into a short-term uptrend, the stocks might support so that CNX Pharma goes up. This possibility will be out of the window if I think yesterday's low is compromised. But there are few stocks. I will now take you to the healthcare names. Where are we? There we are. I just tracked few of them and I have marked especially DV's Lab and Dr. Reddy. Now DV's Lab, you can see today was more than 1% up and it's showing definite strength. There's no problem. Dr. Reddy also is one stock which has created what I call as a decoy bar and short-term uptrend, just losing a bit of momentum. And I can say with a certain degree of confidence that if tomorrow, again, if and only if tomorrow prices takes out today's high for Dr. Reddy, you're looking for a nice move on the upside. But amongst these names, Apollo Hospital is one stock which will suit if you are a cash market short-term trader / investor, because it's a contrarian bet. Dr. Reddy DVs, they are in a short-term uptrend and I expect momentum to continue, especially Dr. Reddy. Apollo Hospital, on the other hand, is clearly definitely in a downtrend. it is giving us, or I can see enough evidence on the short-term charts, enough supports on the weekly charts, which is clearly telling me it's all set for a short-term bounce. But the Apollo Hospital trade is not as high conviction, or the expectation that Apollo Hospital will go up is not as high conviction as I feel Dr. Reddy or DVs will extend. But you know what, the most important stock mainly from a trading point of view, according to me, is Sun Pharma. This stock enjoys the maximum weightage. It definitely pulls and drags the CNX Pharma in either direction. And it's a little tricky. What I like is multiple highs have got created close to a certain range. And so a beautiful definite resistance has got defined. The beauty of such definite levels, either resistances or supports, are when they get breached. They lead to a very good shift in the way the traders are looking at the stock. And that's why it picks up very good momentum on the opposite direction. Now, if you ask me, I will say Dr. Reddy is my best pick above today's high, DV's Lab, Apollo Hospital from a contrarian point of view, but it's Sun Pharma which I feel at this juncture has the potential to move above this, and equally has the potential to slip below this and come down back to that psychological 1000 level. And that is why I said that the CNX Pharma also looks like in a position. If I have to share my honest thoughts, I would say 65-35 or 60-40. 60% bias that pharma names, CNX Pharma, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy will give us an support and upside move, and 40% chance if there's an across the board selling, then they will not be able to hold on for long and they will also come down. Now, lastly, let's take a quick look at the global markets. And flat for the SGX, just 9 points, nothing in it. European markets were down close to 0.5%. S&P 500 is also flat to negative. Dow Jones is also very flat and just 59 points down. So looks like the global markets, the American markets, the US markets and the SGX is just taking a breather from the sell-off that it recently went through. And with this note, I think we'll wrap up by saying that the index has moved into a downtrend. Yesterday's move seemed like a red cat bounce. Your strategy should be on the downside, on the short side. If you're a derivatives trader, look for shorting opportunities. If you are a cash market trader investor, wait, do not be in a hurry to purchase. If you expect further downside but you want to trade on the long side, keep an eye on pharmaceutical stocks, especially names like Dr. Reddy, DV's, Apollo Hospital, and of course, Sun Pharma. I hope today's surprise move on the downside did not surprise you too much if you've been following my work. And it's always a good feeling when the market moves as per your anticipation. It gives you that confidence. Till then, take care of yourselves, trade well and trade wise.